when we regressed, first the graphotherapy part, the chakra cleansing, and then in the regression it was found that she didn't feel adequate to be a parent.
Today we have with us Radhya, who is a holistic coach who uses a combination of ancient and modern tools like chakras, graphology, and regression and other energy practices. So she has dealt with a lot of cases where she has helped women to have a smooth motherhood experience. Hi Radhya, welcome to Maa Ke Dil Ki Baat. Uh, Welcome here, and we are really looking forward to have a conversation and deep insights with you.
Thank you so much. Genuinely, thank you for having me here and looking forward.
So, can we discuss on how this chakras and like if I have a baby, for instance, and I have gone through some traumatic experience in my childhood, so will that also like affect my baby who is there in my womb?
Okay, so what happens is there's something called as cellular memory, right? The entire body we've made up of millions and millions of cells. So each cell is carrying memories within it. So whether it is while you were in the mother's womb to when you were a kid to growing up, every memory is stored, and what is calculated or what we see is that how strong is the intensity of that memory. So just to give a very tiny example, if मान लो आप बचपन में ऐसे पले बड़े हो that you were in an environment where they spoke a lot about female child, या लड़की होना अच्छा नहीं है, or having a female child is not right, or having a female child can be a burden. So what happens basically is अगर आपने बचपन से वो सुना है, and in your soul's journey you have to welcome a soul in a female body, will that soul feel comfortable? Because आपके जो cells हैं वो क्या vibration pass on कर रहे हैं कि female को लाना is danger zone. Will the child or that soul that is coming in a new female body, will it feel safe in that environment? So definitely that trauma, any type of trauma, even if you've had an accident or you've seen your mother suffer something or your father, all those memories are stored, and that is what we call as cellular memory.
So, like in your experience, if you have like dealt with any of the case like that, so if you can share that experience, how?
So I can share one of the experiences where during regression, one of my clients, we went through grapho and regression both. Her experience was more so that the fetus died inside the womb after completing a month, and she's from Hong Kong, and medically like nothing came out in the reports and doctors couldn't diagnose, right? In her regression, what came out was issues around security. So there were different things we saw in terms of her relationship with her father and how that affected after she lost her father. And it was after losing her father that she was trying to conceive. So it had been a couple of years, and even post that she was not happy in her job and she left her job. Now these are very connected things, which is not just suddenly 1 year but has been happening over the years. So this is a root chakra and a sacral chakra imbalance. So why I'm saying everything is interconnected, it's not just regression, it's not just chakras, because chakras are our energy centers. So वहाँ पर वो block create हो गया. So when we regressed, first the graphotherapy part, the chakra cleansing, and then in the regression it was found that she didn't feel adequate to be a parent. Now, if you don't feel adequate, if you don't feel that you can provide, and if you haven't overcome your own trauma of losing a father figure who's a symbolism of security and a strong foundation, how can you, create space for a new life to birth within you?
So, like, we have seen cases like these days, conceiving has become like a challenge. Like, people are facing a lot of challenges, and they are going to like tens and like people, gynaes, they are consulting. So, is there something like that is related to your inner energy as well, and they should work on that as well?
Yeah, so that's a very good thing that you brought up. A good point, in fact. Why I would say that? Because pregnancy, motherhood is a very prominent experience, especially in a female's life, right? And motherhood and pregnancy, they are an integration of mind, body, spirit. We've heard a lot nowadays when we speak about mind, body, spirit, mind, body, spirit. Throughout the pregnancy and even before the pregnancy, for a female, that journey starts much before, right? Because suddenly when you become pregnant, उस समय you can't think, अच्छा ये 9 months हम अच्छे से सारी cleansing कर लेते हैं. But that body is what is getting created. Even your husband has a role to play in his own mindset and his spirit and his journey. So number one, these things start much before. And second, the question you asked about just going to gynaes, yes, that is a body, that's a medical science, and that is very much important. But are we giving equal weightage and equal attention to the mind as well as the spirit? So these three things need to be integrated, and that is why there are times when you cannot find reasons in medical sciences where nowadays doctors are talking about the fact that maybe it's genetics, right? Bloodline hair. There are so many things that stored memory. So to understand that at an energetic level, can we connect with the soul that is inside the womb? But in order to get to that energetic level, we need to start with the mind and the thoughts. अगर आपके thoughts cluttered हैं, वो thoughts का जो nature of those thoughts are not purified, you can't get to the energy center. So everything is first starting from the mind. Those thoughts, even the food you eat, हम क्या करते हैं? अच्छा खाना है, अच्छा देखना है. But do we have a logical reasoning behind it? Why are you eating healthy? Because your gut, your solar plexus directly connects to your agya and the higher chakras. जैसा खाओगे वैसे आपके thoughts बन जाते हैं, right? So what you're eating becomes your thought. And if you eat clean, it's directly connected to thinking clean. एंड ऑल्सो इफ यू थिंकिंग क्लीन, आपकी बॉडी ऑटोमेटिकली फूड भी अच्छा ही क्रेव करेगी. तो अगर वो वाला सर्किट सही चल रहा है, आप अंदर का कचरा क्लीन कर पा रहे हो. जब आप अंदर का कचरा क्लीन कर पा रहे हो तो आपके एनर्जी सेंटर्स, जो हम चक्रास कहते हैं, दे गेट एक्टिवेटेड. अगर आपके एनर्जी सेंटर्स एक्टिवेटेड हैं और ये दोनों चीज़ें एकदम क्लियर हैं, तब आप एनर्जेटिकली अपने खुद के वूम में जो एक नई सोल आ रही है, आप उसके साथ कनेक्ट कर सकते हो.
Like as you mentioned कि like what you are eating, आजकल like ना if we'll see the lifestyle of the people, so they are all eating junk. The content they are like consuming, that is also like binge watching, maar dhad, ye wo. So that is also, I guess, affecting the soul and affecting the womb.
100%. Like I said कि खाने का और थॉट का इंटरलिंक है. इट्स द सेम वे बाहर की रियलिटी और अंदर की रियलिटी का इंटरलिंक है. तो इफ यू स्टार्ट क्लेंजिंग व्हाट इज देयर इनसाइड, यू विल ऑटोमेटिकली रिपेल the content that is not aligned in alignment with the vibration inside. So that's why I say कि पहले अंदर जाओ, अंदर से उस चीज़ को क्लीन करो. अगर आप अंदर से उस चीज़ को क्लीन कर रहे हो तो वो नेगेटिव कंटेंट अगर आएगा भी ना, you'll repel it. Your body will repel it. And मान लो आपके थॉट्स में, दिस इज जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल आई कैन टेक, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट जस्ट द फूड, ठीक है, और क्या एक्सरसाइज हम कर रहे हैं. फिटनेस एक बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है आजकल. तो दीज आर 2 pointers आई एम गोइंग टू पिक अप इन टर्म्स ऑफ व्हाट आर द कॉन्वर्सेशंस वी आर हैविंग इन आवर एनवायरनमेंट, राइट. फूड, येस, इट्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर, बट अंडरस्टैंड अगर हमारा एनवायरनमेंट इज स्ट्रेसफुल, आपका जंक खाने का मन करेगा बिकॉज योर एनवायरनमेंट इज प्रोवोकिंग इट. क्योंकि आपके पास स्टिलनेस के लिए टाइम नहीं है. तो आपको होगा, जब हम स्टिलनेस के लिए टाइम नहीं है, योर बॉडी इज गोइंग थ्रू अ लॉट ऑफ impatience and irritation and frustration. तो उस समय पे the temptation to eat anything and everything rises, right? Now what happen when we are eating a lot, we are unconsciously speaking about the body. So with my clients and a lot of mothers I've seen who are undergoing pregnancy, continuously there's a unconscious rail or chain of complaining. मैं इतनी मोटी हो गई हूँ, ओ माई गॉड यहाँ से कितना अजीब लग रहा है, माई गॉड मेरा वेट तो ठीक रहेगा. इज दैट अ कनेक्शन? अगर आपके घर में कोई गेस्ट आना चाहेगा और आप बोलो अरे यार ये इतना खा जाएंगे, मेरा तो सारा पैसा चला जाएगा, एंड will that guest ever want to come to your place, or even are you creating a space to invite that guest? This guest is the same soul that is coming in your womb, and if the womb feels that I'm creating a burden to my own mother, मेरे पास तो पैसे नहीं है, मैं बच्चा कैसे करूँगी, you know, these are a lot of different kinds of complaining things that go on. My husband is out, so I'm not supported, I don't want to have this baby. So अगर आपने एक दिन में majority of the times what are you speaking, it matters a lot, because you're sending those vibrations, because more than what you're speaking, it's what you're feeling inside. So one is that self-image thing, right? Like how you are talking to yourself. So the second point, what I was mentioning, is about outer cleansing and inner cleansing. Example, in the outer environment, we create space for the baby. We get the walls painted, we create a nice room, we want to have a baby shower, we want to focus on what the baby will wear when the baby is out, what we are going to wear. A content part that you mentioned, you could be consuming content. How did she celebrate the baby shower? How did she celebrate? What is the most trending thing? This is something that can be taken care of by other people. But nowadays with females and all of us, like such a competitive environment, right? Like we want to do everything on our own at the best. The thing is, number one, you are creating a competitive spirit inside, because these thoughts are based in comparison rather than joy and celebration. Second, if your outer environment is so clean, isn't it our responsibility to also clean the inner environment, the inner nature of thoughts that are there within the body, which are unseen? The traumas, the stress, the belief systems, the values, even the stereotypes around नज़र लग जाएगी, और the stereotypes की कोई outer power है जो आपके बेबी को affect कर देगी, right? These are all our thoughts. So as much as it is important to have an outer environment which is clean, to take responsibility that that inner environment is equally important, because the first 9 months in that inner environment, in that darkness, the baby is just sensing the vibrations. So if you're not taking responsibility to clean that, what happens when even the babies come out and they're given the best of the best comforts and luxuries, they're still not emotionally or mentally at peace even while growing up, because that architecture or that production started much earlier. And फिर बड़े होके हम उसी चीज़ को inner child healing करते हैं, उसी चीज़ के लिए हम वापस जाते हैं. So why not start during those 9 months? And for the female who knows that I want to be a mother, why not start even before that?
Like as you mentioned, like now I can like link to that, because I have seen kids, they are very competitive these days. They have this like ना, अरे मेरा बेटा like ना अभी से 2 years का है नहीं, बहुत competition है उसके अंदर, and he want to be like ना इसको सबसे पहले ना 1 2 3 करो, ये जल्दी से दौड़ेगा and everything, हाँ. So these things I guess ना कि because parents these days are very competitive, and mothers obviously they are working, they are very competitive in their corporate life or whatever they are doing. So that thing in itself, like na coming in the womb somewhere or the other, be it like we see a lot of kids, they have anger issues, they are like 6 months and we see कि यार ये गुस्सा कर रहा है. So like after having a word with you, I guess कि वो ना अंदर ही वो things energy आप pass on कर रहे हो.
Correct. I'll tell you something here. Abhi in the current times, with the modern concepts, I don't want to comment कि क्या सही है या गलत है, but with modern concepts like feminism, we are not able to understand the difference between energies in terms of feminine energy and masculine energy, and when which energy is supposed to be utilized. So अगर आपने yin yang का symbol देखा होगा, right? It's half black, half white. तो हमारी अपनी body के अंदर भी there is half feminine energy and half masculine. But अगर आप वैसे सोच के देखो, 70% is water. and water is associated with feminine energy. So 50-50 के बजाय भी it's actually a 70-30. ठीक है, so वो feminine energy का role ही is nurturing. Feminine energy is all about passivity, things that are not seen. Like emotions you can experience, you cannot see. तो वही 9 months is the feminine energy. Even after you come out 0 to 8 years is the right brain creativity. You start teaching the child b कैसे बात करते हैं, राइट? दिस इज ऑल कम्युनिकेशन, कनेक्टिंग, फीलिंग द इमोशंस, राइट? बच्चे की कोई लैंग्वेज नहीं होती है, वो रो के बताता है मुझे भूख लग रही है, राइट? द चाइल्ड डजंट नो व्हाट इट्स पैशन, वो अपनी मम्मा का कोई चेन खींच के बताता है दैट आई नीड यू, दैट्स हिज लव लैंग्वेज. सो वी आर स्टिल डेवलपिंग द राइट ब्रेन. And that is the time when we majorly need to focus on the feminine energy. But the mother or the womb that is carrying the child is more focused on the masculine energy during that time. तो आपने वो जो साइकिल है ना masculine feminine energy की कब कहाँ यूज होना है, वो पूरा मिक्सअप हो गया है. तो it's only after 8 years, 9 to that 16 years, where the masculine energy, which is discipline, strictness, you know, all of those things start coming. And this is not to say कि 0 to 8 years में आप बिल्कुल ही extreme side पे हो जाओ feminine energy, but those 0 to 8 years are the years and inside the womb, those 9 months, where feminine energy, in the sense of feminine quality of nurturing, connection, emotions, that needs to be focused on. But here is the interesting factor. होता क्या है, we think कि बच्चा is अलग, मम्मा is अलग, father is अलग. So हमने सब कुछ इतना separation में देखना सीख लिया है that even after post pregnancy, and you know, when kids turn 4, 5, 6 and parents come to me for different cases, they are like, you know, इस बच्चे को ठीक कर दो. There's no fault in us. बच्चे को ठीक कर दो. What is the बच्चा the outcome of? Yes, as a soul he has a different journey, but then there is also masculine and feminine aspect. There's also mind body thing that he's completely carrying from the bloodline of the two parents.
So is there any case like you have dealt with, you have connected with the womb, with the fetus and
yeah, so there is an interesting incident that happened, and I connected with a family member. She was in the 7th month of her pregnancy, and it was a more impromptu thing where I energetically felt, and we just decided to connect. Very interesting find outs, you know, that I would like to share. What happened is, when we connected to the baby, that also required trust in the mother, because see, इतना ज़्यादा we are based on science and क्या proven है क्या नहीं है. That's what I'm talking about, the masculine energy, because masculine energy is tangible. मैं इसको touch कर पा रही हूँ तो मैं believe करूँगी. Feminine energy is the unseen. That speaks energy. It speaks the language of energy. So what happened when I connected to her womb, I was able to channelize the emotions of the soul inside the womb. We were able to address questions. Where is this soul traveling from? Why is the soul choosing to, you know, come live this journey? Why is this soul choosing to have her as the mother? Now, some interesting finds that came out was, the baby was feeling neglected inside, and the channel or the message or something he wished to communicate to the mother was, spend more time with me, give me more attention. The minute this thing was channelized, the mother started crying. And she confirmed that, yes, I'm so occupied with my elder child, I genuinely have not been able to give time to this child. And this is where you know that energy speaks volumes, and there is an energetic connection where you can communicate with that soul. And this is not something, I don't know if there are articles about it, but in my experience, that 7th month is very crucial. Till 6 months, the body is getting formed. 7th month is the time where the spirit enters, or the soul decides that, okay, this ultimately, okay, this is what I want to enter in. This is the body, this is the journey, this is the family I want to choose. So that 7th month is where you can actually start having an energetic conversation with your child, understanding where the child even communicated what is the kind of material or the texture the kid would like. Absolutely soft. Now when the baby was born, the baby is actually soft like cotton, right? And something that we noticed, what we observed, the baby is now 7 to 9 months, and extremely clingy to the mother. तो एक तो होता है वो नॉर्मली कहते हैं अच्छा एवरी बेबी नीड्स द मदर वरना बच्चे रोते हैं. देयर इज वन टाइप ऑफ क्राइंग. द अदर इज फॉर अ स्प्लिट सेकेंड द बेबी इज टेकन फ्रॉम द मदर, देयर आर लाइक इमीडिएट टीयर्स trickling down, and there is a sensation you can sense energetically in the baby, and that is the neglection that the baby starts feeling in the womb that gets confirmed when the baby is out. तो उस समय पे फ्रॉम अ लॉजिकल माइंड हमें नहीं समझ में आता इतना क्यों रो रहा है. खाना भी खिला दिया, सब कुछ कर दिया, और भी तो लोग हैं, और भी बच्चे तो पले हैं, वो बच्चे तो ऐसे नहीं थे. एंड देन वी आर क्रिएटिंग सम जनरलिस्ट आउटकम्स आउट ऑफ इट, राइट? सो दिस टेल्स यू दैट at an energetic level you can connect with the baby, and the baby can start communicating, and you can create the kind of environment the baby would like to be born in. Now here one thing I want to mention. Obviously we are all curious, and in India it's not allowed to disclose, right, the sex of the baby. So she did ask me this question that can you tell is it a boy or a girl? And during these sessions even I get some massive learnings. The baby or the channeling that we were undergoing during that time, the message I got was that I actually do not have a gender or a sex, I am a soul. This was a learning for me in itself, that when you realize कि वो तो हम अपने conscious या logical mind से देख रहे हैं ना, the soul is trying to communicate, वो एक आत्मा से communicate कर रही है, and the आत्मा is saying कि मेरा तो कोई gender या sex है ही नहीं. So these are very beautiful experiences where I also feel absolutely grateful कि you are living the journey with another. Whether or not आप खुद में pregnant हो या नहीं, as a healer, this is a big blessing that you can tap into the experiences of another. So जैसे ये इतना interesting experience था, if you remember from one of the mythological stories that we have, Abhimanyu, Subhadra, Arjun, where Abhimanyu ने womb के अंदर ही, when Subhadra was listening to Arjuna talking about the intricacies of the war, Subhadra heard, and that also tells us from the ancient roots that Abhimanyu knew how to he knew the tactics and the strategies of the war, but उसको बाहर निकलना उसने सुना ही नहीं, because Subhadra fell asleep, right? And इसलिए जब वो बाहर आया, उसको मिलिट्री और उस सब का ज्ञान तो था, बट उससे बाहर कैसे निकलना, he didn't know that. And this in itself shows कि ये सारी चीज़ें ancient wisdom में बात करी गई हैं. And if you look at any culture, you look at the Balinese culture, you look at African, Native Americans, अपना खुद का Indian culture, where in every culture there is a ceremony of the mother and the baby. And अगर आप और इसको depth में जाओ तो especially in Bali, they have a ceremony where they connect with plants and trees. And pregnant women especially are pushed to attend that ceremony, because plants and trees, if you think about it, हम nature को हमेशा mother nature बोलते हैं. Why? Because nature is all about creation. It is a symbol of fertility. And the same thing undergoes inside us when we become a mother, that as a mother you are birthing a new life. So that connection from your ancestry as well, who gave birth to you, who gave birth to your mother, XYZ, उस पूरी creation के साथ अपना connection develop करना. And वो एकदम highest creation then goes to the higher self, जहाँ से everything is linked. So to get that connection for a mother, that is the reason it's so important to go inside, and the more you breathe, the more practices of mindfulness and बहुत अलग अलग चीज़ें अगर आप उसमें delve करो, वो आपको deeper अपनी psyche में ले जाती है, जहाँ पे वो सारी knowledge is stored, and where you can actually connect with the highest of the highest creator, because of whom we are all here.
So, like you do graphology as well. So, through graphology, how you are able to see like how the pregnancy would be, or how you can tell a mother to.
ओके सो ग्राफो बिकम्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग डायग्नोस्टिक टूल. आप जो भी पेपर पे लिखते हो, इट्स अ न्यूरोलिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग इन द सेंस कि आपके चैनल्स यहाँ से पास ऑन कर रहे हैं एंड आप पेपर पे लिख रहे हो, तो योर स्ट्रोक स्पीक, राइट. व्हेन योर स्ट्रोक स्पीक इट विल शो कि आपके थॉट का, इट्स लाइक एन एक्सरे ऑफ द माइंड. तो आपके थॉट का नेचर शो करेगा कि यहाँ पे उस थॉट के नेचर के हिसाब से आप क्या अट्रैक्ट कर रहे हो. We can even do it right now if you want.
Please, please. I would
You
be
have
more than happy.
experienced pregnancy,
Yes,
right? And we also had somebody else on the podcast. If she's here, like, I don't mind if you can get a writing sample.
Sure.
And there are 2-3 things I can see, and then you can see for yourself if.
So, Radhya, this is a sample of one of our guests who was there in the podcast.
Okay.
So, if you can, like, by the time I am writing.
Yeah. So with you, like, it's a blue ballpoint, no? Just write anything about yourself. Okay. Anything doesn't have to be related to your pregnancy. Just 4-5 lines about yourself. Okay. With you, I don't see many issues in terms of your experience. In fact, the experience of motherhood would have been quite emotional, quite enriching, quite lovely in a way कि ऐसा होता है ना कि wow, I don't mind creating one more baby. ठीक है. It was quite positive.
It was very, very smooth. Yeah.
Very smooth. However, I mean it was a cesarean.
Yeah, like unfortunately.
Because I tell you what, everything is smooth, and suddenly it would have come as a very like last minute thing.
Oh my god, yeah. Actually, that happened because I have worked till my 9 month, like now, a lot to have a normal delivery. Like I used to walk 10,000 steps. I have done like all that household, like ना cleaning and everything.
Happily,
yes.
Because like मेरे को इतना कोई tension और ऐसे वो
yes,
irritation या
No.
अनबन हुई हो husband, none of that. It was like very like free flowing and very smooth as a process. See, so this is what happens that
oh my god,
it's just your strokes, right? Your strokes, every single dot is a thought. When you create strokes, they are the way you think. The way you think creates the emotions, and that is creating up the body, right? And that is creating the space inside the womb, and that is what the law of attraction is कि आप अपने thought से ही वो चीज़ attract कर रहे हो. So what I just shared with you is actually your stroke formation. So आप अपने stroke से ही आपने वो last minute attract कर लिया, right? This is where grapho and regression and all of these comes कि अगर आप वो internally उस चीज़ को cleanse out कर दोगे तो those problems outside also get eradicated.
Okay, actually till date I still had that mind like ना कि क्यों मेरा C-section हुआ, क्यों मेरा C-section हुआ, why me? Because I've worked literally so much for a normal delivery.
Yeah.
But, like after meeting you, I guess I've got an answer to that.
It's like taking 100% responsibility that I am creating everything. And this is where healing and, you know, when we talk about energies, about the mind, about thought, it all starts from us. So in fact, one thing I would like to mention, you know, when you posted and I shared this about this podcast, I got a DM from a pregnant woman asking me, when will I deliver the baby and will my baby be healthy? Why I'm picking this up, क्या होता है nowadays we associate tarot or oracle reading or anything with fortune या future. What that kind of mindset, it's not tarot that is bad. It is आप उसको use कैसे कर रहे हो. With that kind of a mindset, what happens? You are saying I am not responsible. There is something outside of me. But when you take 100% responsibility, you realize that the future is now. So that question of when gets eradicated, number one.
Yes.
And second, the question was, will my baby be healthy?
Fear.
This question in itself is rooted in doubt, number one. Right? And that fear concept you're talking about, हम पूजा करने जाते हैं. In every culture there is, you know, some form of puja that is there or some form of ritual that is practiced. What I would say is that anybody who's pregnant or is undergoing any sort of such rituals, pause and question yourself, am I doing it from a place of love, joy, excitement? Because I am entering a new phase of life, तो वो new beginning के लिए मैं वो celebration mode में हूँ, or am I doing it from a place of fear? सब कुछ ठीक तो रहेगा ना, नजर तो नहीं लग जाएगी, you know, the stereotype of evil eye.
People are doing it for fear, because of fear. Yes.
So because of fear, this question is coming, will my baby be fine? Will this, you have to question yourself, what do you think? Are you thinking right? Are you visualizing it the right way? Can you see that you have delivered a healthy baby? If you cannot see it for yourself, if you don't believe it inside of you, वो complications आएंगे.
And I guess like I had a C-section because at the end moment na, I just felt like क्या मैं normal delivery कर पाऊंगी? क्या मैं कर पाऊंगी? नहीं कर सकती? Like that question of fear, that anxiety and everything was undergoing.
Everything impacts. And that is the prime reason why discussing energy and mind is so important apart from the body. And that is the reason so many people, you know, like after trying IVF, after trying so many things, people are like, I'm still not able to conceive. But I've been to the 10 top doctors. There the issue we know lies inside the memory, the cellular memory you're carrying, and you know, your mindset, your belief systems, and energetically what you're feeling. That is what is blocking these.
So like with like you are reaching out to doctors, but with that we have to like work on ourselves, work on our inner energy. That is more important.
Very, very important.
Thank you, Radhya, for like being here at Maa Ki Dil Ki Baat, and surely like the way I have like connected dots while I was having a conversation with you, I guess our viewers will like love and will learn from the podcast we have recorded, the content that we are delivering to them. Surely, I'm looking forward if we can meet up more and touch upon more topics like this.
Sure, 100%. In fact, I would love to even have more people, you know, have been on this journey, and if there are complications. And I also think it's a very beautiful thing you're doing of, you know, bringing out this knowledge into the world and helping more mothers connect with this side of healing and this side of motherhood's journey, which majority of people are not aware of, and it's so important.
Yeah, because these days they are just concerned about their like diet, or they are just going to hospitals like ye ultrasound ho gaya and everything, but they are not working like inner energy and channelizing it.
And इसमें ना मैं एक advice भी देना चाहूँगी, चाहे आप किसी dietitian के पास भी जा रहे हो, it's very important to eat healthy, but आप कितना ही healthy खा रहे हो, right? Oftentimes क्या होता है, you end up puking, आपको digest नहीं हो रहा है. Thought. If you're eating and thinking कि मेरी job तो नहीं चली जाएगी, if you're eating and thinking that oh I want this promotion, if you're eating and thinking oh my husband is not supporting me, you know that food is carrying that energy, and that is why it just creates a lot of mess inside. Again, going back to the thought, no matter what you eat, you need to like keep your thoughts in the right place and keep cleaning.
Thank you.
Thank you.